What was the most defining moment of your life?
The most defining moment was basically when my daughter was diagnosed with a disease.
Mm-hmm.
And, she was about a year old when we noticed that things were just not right.
Mm-hmm. And when we prepared and met and realized this was a good fit for you to come on the program, you said she had, and you can talk frankly to the audience, she had white spots inside her mouth, I believe. Is that how you discovered it?
Yeah, so she, even as a baby, she just wouldn't eat much.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up developing ulcers in her mouth
Mm-hmm.
and just uncomfortable. And that would wax and wane
Sure.
throughout the first year. And we just didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And until she got her vaccine, she got her varicella vaccine. And that completely changed everything.
Well, now what was that supposed to do for the layman watching that might not know?
Well, that's your chickenpox
Right.
vaccine. And, vaccines are either live or attenuated.
Okay.
Or basically they're either you have dead proteins or actually live viruses to help you with your
Mm-hmm.
immune system. And all the first vaccines that you get before your first year they're not live.
Mm-hmm.
And so she didn't have an effect. But then, when she got her varicella, things just kind of went crazy, and she started getting more ulcers, both in the mouth, even in the private area.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, something wasn't right.
Was her mood off? Was she irritable?
She was irritable, just uncomfortable at times. And I ended up calling one of my colleagues. He was a GI doctor, and I mentioned to him that what's going on with her, and
Mm-hmm.
he suggested just get some blood work and see.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and they were all abnormal.
At this point, you're a full-blown doctor, right?
Yes.
So that threw you for a loop because your first one, your eldest, was fine.
Yeah, our
Anjali.
our eldest, Anjali, she was fine, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's hard to think that your child is sick chronically.
Mm-hmm.
So it took us for a loop, So we had to basically figure out what was going on with her.
So when we talked, and correct me if I'm wrong, you intimated to me that you didn't get a lot of support, and that might not be the right word, in the medical community because no one could really figure out what the H was going on with her.
Yeah, I
And
think she was just a hard diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
Because we were with HEMONC at back then it was Kaiser Children's Hospital, Kaiser
Mhm.
Children's, and very good team, very good support. She went through a lot of diagnostic tests, including bone marrow biopsies, and
Which is painful, I would assume.
yes,
Mhm.
and lumbar punctures, lots of blood work, and just trying to figure out what we needed, what was happening to her. and at one point they thought maybe this is transient,
Mm-hmm.
but then it didn't go away, and so they referred us to Cincinnati Children's, and they basically said, I think she needs a transplant.
And you're like, what?
Right.
Yeah, a transplant. And a transplant of what? A blood
Yeah,
transfusion? or what are we
bone
talking-
a bone marrow transplant.
Oh, joy.
So, it's all these are shocking revelations, and you're more than, and that's essentially the first during our first meeting, that's what they were thinking,
Mhm.
and of course we needed to verify and have more tests, and so it was tough,
Mm-hmm.
because without it, you don't survive.
So is it fair to say, and I'm asking this objectively, not so much as a father, but as a fellow human being and with your expertise, do you feel like had you not been involved in her situation, she wouldn't be here anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.